what I'd like to do is, I'd like to take that because it deals with some security issues at the prison. We'll take that under executive session, and I'll move that up on the list when we get to the executive session section. Okay? Are there any other guests that want to address the board?
I'm Tina Clymer. I don't need to address the board. I'm here basically for the same reason, because we have some concerns about
Okay.
that same issue.
Okay, thank you. All right, so, no other guests. We'll move for approval of the minutes of the meeting held on May 18th, 2022. That was a regular meeting. Motion by Rocky, second by our sheriff. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is report of executive sessions held. I don't think there's any report for that. We indicated the reasons for our last executive session on the record after we came out of executive session. So then I'm under reports of committee, and in terms to expedite this, I'm going to entertain a motion to move the executive session portion of the committee reports to the first matter, and we'll go in executive session. I have a motion to that effect?
Motion.
By Rocky, a second.
Second.
Second by Chris. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion carries, and we'll go into executive session. Okay. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to let us go through that.
No,
That was just one of her people.
yeah.
How did she get there? They didn't tell her what was going on. They're all nice and nice, so cozy. We on? Okay. So we took this out of order. We're back from executive session. We dealt with security issues relating to the prison and the work we've done internally on other security matters there. And so we moved executive session up, so we'll go to the maintenance report.
Basically, Sites Brothers was there for the monthly service. Tremco completed the roof project, which I stated in last month's report, but we're still waiting for the railing around the hatch. I messaged Fred, one of the main roofing guy, and he said he was gonna look into it and get back to me. That was Monday, he hasn't gotten back yet. The paving project had begun, and they did some, they didn't, they did some. Well, basically, they're almost done, the parking lot is pretty much done, all the striping's done there. However, they still need to put the, like, yellow and white stripes on the road going in and out. They need to seal around all the edges yet, and the island where they put the trench for drainage, that's not complete yet. There's still, it's about that low, where it's just stone yet, so if they're coming to put, you know, topsoil and grass, seed, or whatever they're planning on doing there, that needs to get done. I sent a message to Bill from Carbon Engineering on Monday and another one this morning. He hasn't gotten back to me if he knows when they're coming back to do that. Also, the paving crew had dug up wires in the island when they were digging for the trench. We had McCullen and Son come in and repair the wires. After they left, as they continued the trench, they hit more wires. So we had McCullen and Son come back again and repair those wires. The first ones that were on the island, I told them to be very careful with that because the only prints I didn't have as-built prints I couldn't find, but I had two sets. One showed the wires going around the island, and the other one showed them going through the island. And I said, my gut is that they're going through the island, just be careful, and well, you know it, they ripped up those wires. The other one, every print that we could look through, we didn't see any evidence of why that wire was there. So I don't know if that's an add-on that's coming from the pump house to the well, so they repaired that one as well. Arbonne replaced the end of dock plate that was approved, and I guess we gave them the PO in January. At the time we ordered it, they said it was in stock. Well, apparently it wasn't. So they brought it from Lancaster to get it done. So that's done, so now that's no longer an issue, getting the plate up and when we have deliveries. Pump house project, pump 2 is we're still not using it, because, like I say, he replaced the wet end, and the next day I didn't like the noise of it, so then he came back, took a look at it, he recorded it, he sent the noise to the company, and they said he just needs to make some adjustment with the height of it. So I've talked to John Alvarez. He says he's hoping to come up, well, sometime this week to adjust that. The impeller section that was removed, I gave to Commissioner Osstein, and he was gonna let, I believe, Moyer, I think, from,
I don't know who.
he was gonna have them take a look, cause maybe it's something that they might be able to do for less money if this is continuing. And then I finally did get the quote for the wet section and the 2 controllers that they feel are integral to keep on hand in case they go down. I just talked with Larry in the hallway while I was out, and he's planning on coming up either tomorrow or first thing next week to review the fire panel up in the pump house.
Rodney, the animal shelter director is raising a concern that the grass is not being cut, hasn't been cut at the shelter, and he again is now out there with his personal lawnmower cutting the grass at the shelter.
Well, we were over Monday and weed whacked there, I guess between your visits, because I know he said one of you was there, and then
Yeah, I'm
like
sure.
the next day the other one came. Well, we had done the weed whack. Originally, he told me he didn't want me inside the fenced-in area to cut.
And I will tell you what he said
I
Friday
just-
was, as long as he know you guys are coming, he's
Well-
gonna clean inside the fence area, so there's,
Well,
yeah.
we had a discussion months ago
Yep.
and with, one of the aides to the commissioners, and so we told him whenever we come over, we'll give you 20 minutes notice, which we've done.
Right.
Now, the last couple weeks, it's just been hectic at work. I was on vacation
Yeah.
last week, so we got behind with things, but we pretty much got caught up this week. Or 2 weeks ago I was off, so last week we pretty much got caught up with most of the mowing and everything. And I know last year he said the same thing, that if we took him a mower over from the prison, so we took him one over, then he didn't want, he returned it. So, but we have typically gone and mowed around it and going up and down, and we've been calling him when we're gonna come over and do it, so it's, but, yeah, he told us that it was you guys, he said it wasn't him, it's that you guys don't want him to do any mowing, so that we will.
Well,
We don't want him with his
Right.
personal
No,
mower,
I'm just.
you know, right, yeah, we don't, and,
No, we don't
and
have-
he's not
we
supposed
will-
to be.
Right.
He's
No,
correct
we will-
on that,
right,
I don't want him
yeah.
mowing.
Right, we will, you know, take care of it and.
Thank you, Ron, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, any other questions then we'll please.
No.
So I'm a little concerned about this paving project that was supposed to be completed on May 2nd. And it's still not completed. I understand they dug up some wires by accident,
Right.
but they haven't been there. We don't know when they're gonna come back and when this is kinda gonna get wrapped up.
Right.
Does anybody have any other information on the plan or how that's?
Well, we have an extension on the contract is being extended, I believe, until the 23rd, Ellie?
I think so.
Yeah, till the 23rd of June, so they have till the 23rd.
And this week they are finishing the DNL trail, which was put off for like 3 weeks already now.
I have two questions. One on the paving project where the excavator, or the paver dug up the wires. Are they responsible for that or not responsible?
I would hope that's who's getting the bill
Or is
for
the
that.
county gonna be whacked with another repair bill for
Well, I
the
didn't get a
wires?
bill yet,
Purchasing has
and
the
I don't
bill.
like bills that come when we don't make mistakes.
Right, well, that's my
If somebody
question.
else makes a mistake, I
Right.
think they should pay for it.
From what
Right.
I'm understanding, purchasing has seen the bill, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Did we
No.
take any precautions to have, the ground checked for wires before they started?
As far as I know, they didn't do any PA1 call or anything like that.
And I think that falls on us, doesn't it?
And
PA
well,
one?
and I
Well, I would
think
think it would fall in the contract,
No, it
wouldn't?
does. It's not the service
Yeah,
coming into the facility, it's lines that are ours.
Okay.
So it's on the owner
To
to map
identify.
out the lines.
and how's that gonna go in a legal battle if we told them the wire is there, but we don't know where it's at? So they're gonna say, well, we had to dig it up, right, Bob?
How do you think it's gonna go?
Yeah, I know, it's not gonna be good for us, and I'm not gonna like paying the bill.
Yeah.
But, and I said, I don't know if it's one of the things, like even with Jason, like there's a wire there for future, should it be mapped,
Mhm.
that it's there? I don't know, if you say there's one plan that had it, and another one that
And they were
doesn't,
both projected plans, that neither one was
Yeah,
as-built,
it's
cause
like we don't-
I couldn't find a copy of an as-built plan for that particular section.
yeah.
'Cause one of them, it was the street lights for the parking lot.
But you would think wires would go between two poles,
That would be the most direct
not
route,
down
yes.
and around the prison and back up to the
Right.
second pole. You'd think you would have been a little careful.
And like I said, I told Bill from Carbon Engineering to let the guys know, be careful in the island. That's,
Second question I have is with this ongoing pump issue, I'm just concerned that when are we gonna know if we have the right pumps? Are they designed right? Is it an installation issue? Is it a manufacturing issue? Is the county being hit for repairs and service every time somebody comes back if it's a product issue or a design or installation issue?
well, I believe the last two things we did get a bill for. Previously, everything was covered under warranty. But now the last two, and I believe when he comes back to make the adjustments, to me, that should be covered with his initial because he put it in, it's not right.
Right, right. And I guess the bottom line is, are we still sure we got the right pumps in there because they seem to be failing, they're not
I
doing
mean,
the
the
job?
guy says he's had these same pumps on other places for 25 years without an issue, but it's, I mean, I was hoping once we had the rehab done on the pump house, it would be no more headaches. Well,
Right.
it's been nothing but headaches.
Right, right.
And that might be something to bring whoever designed it and whoever recommended this, I think we should bring them in and have another talk with them, because we don't need to be repairing something every week. You know what I mean? It's like, and I looked at, like, when you brought that in, like, to me, that impeller looked like it was an old coffee can they made it out of.
And well,
Like, how would anything
when we
last?
after I took it back that day, we opened it up and looked at it, and I really didn't see much wear and tear on any of the impellers or anything inside it. But it definitely makes a squealing noise, and it wouldn't build pressure.
That might be something to do, maybe call them back and, I mean, I don't know who did the original design there on that. Have them come back and, I don't know, what do you think, like, what's the right thing to do, Bob? Have them come back and review it again and see what's going on. I mean, we can't have something that's defective all the time. How many times was this that was fixed?
I think pump 3 was done twice under warranty, pump 1 and 2 was each done once under warranty. And now, pump 1 was done again, and I believe this is pump 2 now.
That's
I'd
like,
have to go back and check all my
sounds like
records
a
to be
bad
certain.
wheel they keep putting back on the car. So maybe that's what I have to do, I have to contact them, have them come back in, I mean, it's like, I mean, that's what we have these people do, have to design things for us that we're not having problems. All right, maybe that's
Thank
all.
you, thank you.
All right, so, move on to, we did the plan of action committee.
I did.
Okay, so, work release report.
Okay, work release report from May 19th through June 14th of 2022. We have 8 inmates currently on the work release program. Sergeant Flexer's had a lot of success helping people get out and find jobs, and 8's been the most we've had since we've been there. Correct?
Yeah.
I think it's a record since 2016,
Yeah, I
I'll
know,
be honest,
I
I'm
looked at the
telling you.
list and I'm thinking like, is this, like you copied it a couple months back together?
No, he's been doing a good job filling in for Frank.
No, I would say so.
Any questions, anything else under that? All right, we covered technical security, right? What kind of both of those? All right. Warden's report.
Okay, the report is from May 1st to May 31st of 2022. We had 73 male admissions, 24 female admissions. We had 69 male releases, 26 female releases, 123 males and 26 females are in the jail with a total population of 149. That was as of May 31st. Average daily population during that time period was 162. Total admissions for the year as of 5/31 was 461.
Okay. It's all Warden?
That's it.
Okay, any other questions under Warden's report?
I would just say, how are things going with medical, how are things going with food?
Medical, very well. The only issue we have with them is they tie up an officer on day shift and middle shift for the whole shift, so we're working on ideas to get more out of our officers and move some people around, but it's working very well. And Aramark, it's a big difference, a real big
Good.
difference. I mean, I'll walk the hall and the inmates will tell me great lunch and stuff like that, so it's been a positive for us all the way around. And staff will occasionally eat, and they never ate when Trinity made food, so it's been a big difference, a noticeable difference.
Just make sure not to eat too much.
And if it's good like that and it's going, what were we, cause we were talking about when they came in with that, there's nothing there for the employees, is there a discount for the corrections officers or anything like that, for meals?
No,
No, I think that was something that I think once, if we were thinking about that, but I think we wanted to see like how much, you know, what
How
they
it
could
goes
do. We
first.
still had that quantity that we were gonna pay for, that they could go in and do it. And then I think once, if we're looking at something, maybe down the line, we're gonna review something that if they can do something, you know, we'll work with whatever we can. I mean, if they wanna pay more or whatever and have something else, I mean, it's, but, We were trying to stick with what our costs are per meal as of right now.
Yeah, we're probably at the point where we might be just cresting as to what the prices of everything are.
Oh,
Hopefully
well,
we'll-
yeah,
we'll roll
that's-
on, then maybe it might get a little better as it goes. Okay, so then a motion to accept the warden's report.
So move.
Mark, second. By Dan, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We did executive session, personnel report. You want a personnel report?
Yeah, I usually, do I read that?
No,
I
you
don't
don't
read
have to
that, no.
Everybody had a copy of the personnel report.
Mhm.
Any questions to the ward on the personnel report?
No.
So I'll entertain a motion to accept the personnel report. Rocky, second.
Second.
Mark, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Does anybody have any, well, this will be new business. The clerk of courts met with the president, judge, and myself regarding the cash bail being posted at the prison. Obviously, the rules require an ability to post bail on somebody who's sitting in jail 24/7. And so there was a thing. She said that you guys had gotten a computer from her in order to do those e-pays?
No.
All right, well, that's
They were
what
gonna
she,
provide a training to us on CPCMS to accept the e-pay.
Isn't there one in the sergeant's area, a computer in the sergeant's
We
area?
do have computers, yeah.
I think one of them was put up for that intended purpose, if I recall.
That I don't.
It may have been Derek before your time, to be
Yeah.
honest, right? You
it
know,
probably was,
Yeah.
because I got that from somebody at IT too, that it was a computer from the clerk's office that came over
Yeah.
there for that utilization by, alright, we gotta get with the clerk then and with CPS, cause we voted when we were in here, and the judge and I spoke about it, about not taking the cash bail, but then when we were talking to the clerk, she's getting hammered on her evaluation, or her audit, because way back with buckwheat, but one of the issues that they look at on the accountability of the cash bail is how it's being deposited and taken care of, and anything that you guys do with it makes it show up on her audit, because they're seeing because bail's under her for the accountability of it. And when you have it and it goes and it's stored there and it goes through several shift changes, it creates, a breach in that chain of custody for it, which could result in missing money. So we were talking, I know we made that motion that we wouldn't accept cash bail, but
That's what Mike and I thought, we thought, and Mike thought it might have been 6 or 9 months ago, I recall, that the prison was no longer gonna accept cash for bail.
Would have been before my time, Jim.
No,
Yeah, it was.
Mike thought it might have been under the old order, or perhaps even under transition with Laura.
Yeah.
yeah. But we did vote, I think, or we discussed it and came to a consensus that we weren't. But then when we were talking with the clerk, the judge and I, like, there may be a situation where, that the magistrate sets, bail at 2,000, 10%, so you're talking, $200, and some old guy comes up who doesn't have a credit card, doesn't have that machine, and has the $200, do we send them off to pay 200 plus to get a gift card to run through that, that there might be circumstances to take it. I don't think, if that was the policy that we always took cash, I could understand them giving her a hard time with it, but, I think you gotta play that a little bit by ear. But the fact is, if we have that computer, we gotta make arrangements with the clerk to have somebody come down there and show you how to enter in CPCMS, because there's a part of that program will allow them to enter their credit card data or their debit card data and post the bail right there, and it gets all accounted for, and you can print out the piece of paper and it's all in, and you're not handling the money, which is what we don't want you doing. There might be a weird situation where you might take it and then we have to deal with it that way. I would strongly suggest whoever's on as a way of, getting that deposited at the end of the shift, or some, I don't want it sitting there for the whole weekend where everybody touching it, but you have a safe or a Dropbox or something that we could, that it could be.
We have a safe that we put in, yeah. The way she explained it to us when we talked to her the other day, it has to be deposited almost
24 hours.
24 hours after she gets it.
I don't
And the
think-
weekend was a
And
problem for her.
we talked about that with her. I don't think, if it goes 26 hours, that it's, that
Yeah, the
all of a
problem
sudden
is-
you're in violation. I don't think there's a rule out there that says the time, but you have to have the adequate safeguards. It's not encouraged, is what we're trying to say, is we voted that you're not taking cash bail, but I think there might be a weird circumstance where you might have to,
Yeah.
you know, under the circumstances. I don't think that, that's just me, Judge. I think the judge feels the same way. I mean, I don't know how we all feel. I think it should be our policy that we're not accepting cash bail, but I think that there could be an exception on an occasion where, because you don't wanna have somebody sitting where somebody doesn't have that ability, doesn't speak English well, it does, you know,
Yeah.
doesn't know the area, and what do we, you know.
I think with the prior abuses, when a lot of us got here 2 years ago, was we were trying to, if not eliminate, certainly reduce the cash handling, because that's where the abuses happened, and there are 2 banks in Nesquehoning that are open 5.5 days a week. If they had to get a money order or whatever and eliminate cash that way.
No, money order won't work.
Oh, it won't work?
No. Money order creates the same problem with
Okay.
it.
Well, what
It's-
about that e-bail system?
That,
was
the
the other-
email, that system will work.
Okay.
We're gonna get with the clerk and have somebody come over there and train these guys how to do it. And it's relatively easy, you just have to know how to open the program and have it out there that's at an accessible point, so you don't have people inside, well, you know all of that, so they're not in prison. And encourage that and post it out there that that's the only way to pay. But I still think common sense has to prevail on an occasion if it gets a little funny.
So then is there gonna be a runner between when you get cash, or? like,
No,
is
I
it
don't think
gonna
it's
get
gonna
to the
I think
prison
they're gonna
here?
encourage people to use it, you have a credit card, this is the only way we're gonna take it. But I think you may you may have a situation that you can't, I don't think the judge, maybe if I'm misstating it, Judge, but I thought you and I, when we were talking, I just had a feeling that like I said, you get somebody in from Hazelton or somebody who's Hispanic who doesn't know the area, they drove in to New York, they have the $200 to get them out and say, you can't do this because you don't have a credit card, you don't have, I can't see that, you know, that you hold somebody either overnight till they figure out how to do it, or if they're not able to communicate and do this, that we're not letting them out. I don't think if somebody has the cash, despite us having a policy, that you could say, you can't bail this person out, here I have the money. You're not getting out, because you have to use a credit card or a debit card. I think that, I don't know, that's just me, I don't think that's fair. I don't think we encourage it, I think we post everything that says we're only taking this, but I think if that situation comes up, I don't wanna be the one keeping somebody in jail when they have the ability to post it and they have the money. And I think their safeguards are adequate, I just think that the auditors are being, because of what took place, I think she should not have that on her audit report as ongoing or continuing. I think if we adopt that and we show them that we have that, I think we're fine. I don't think it's on 24 hours that you have to make that deposit and get it to them. I think if that is placed if there's a way, I would strongly suggest that we have something that you're able to drop it into a safe or a Dropbox connected to the safe, that it doesn't get open until you open it. I think that's sufficient. They're worried about a chain of custody like we would in the police department, where who has the combination? Well, this shift went by, this person had the combination, then the next shift somebody else had it, and nobody's signing for it, it's not getting counted every time. That's where it creates all that kind of stuff. And I don't think she's right, you know, it does come back on her accounting, they're not hitting you with it. Obviously, if the money's not there, you're in trouble, not her, but it does reflect upon her, and in that position that she's in, given what took place with the prior clerk, that's something she needs to get off of there, and I agree with her, that shouldn't be on there, because she hasn't done anything that would warrant that, and that should be removed, because we have adequate safeguards. So if you're trained on it, put a sign there, we take debit and credit card only, and then we're done. Then we've covered it, and then you deal with it accordingly if something comes in, whether you feel it's proper or not. Hey, it might be somebody coming in with $100,000 cash, and it might be drug money. We don't want that. We don't want the Nevia hearing, we don't want that. So they're the ones who say, get out of here, but, you know, there may be a situation where, you know.
Yeah, her only concern was somebody bails on a Friday night and we keep the money until Monday when,
I think if we could work on what we have as a safe,
Okay.
we might need to get an additional Dropbox so that if they come in with it and it is cash and it is that rare occurrence that it's in there, that it gets dropped and it can't move until you open.
okay,
And how long are you allowed to take bail? I mean, like,
24/7.
oh, it's 24, it's not a time limit on it?
That's under this, if I'm incorrect, Judge, correct me. but that's under the statute, I think
Yeah, I think the person, if they want to be bailed out, they have to be bailed out, right?
Even if it's 1 o'clock in the morning, there's
Yeah.
nothing, okay.
I mean, she said some counties restrict it, I'm not sure you can do that.
Well, that's what I said, like, I think some do, like they might have it cut off at 8 o'clock, but put it this way, if you have somebody that's in jail and you have the money, and you wanna pick them up at 1, that's their prerogative, I mean, and the quicker they get out of there, I think the better it is.
Yeah, she said, Rocky, with this computer, I guess it is, that allows you to use either a credit card or a debit card to make direct payments into the system.
Yeah, and
So
then,
like Mike says, we encourage it, but we don't, if someone comes at 2 o'clock in the morning to bail out their son with $200,
Yeah.
you probably have to accommodate it. She said it's coming up in our audit, I guess, for the last 2 or 3 years, I don't know how often. There's nothing that's come up that says there's been any loss of funds or misappropriation of funds. It's the way the system is devised that the auditor is criticizing. And so Tyra wanted to go exclusively to paperless, to cashless, I should say. And I agree with Mike, I don't think you can do that in its entirety. But you can probably limit when cash will be accepted, and we just have to be able to somehow deposit it in a secure manner that hopefully will be, her auditor will understand.
And we'll see how often it comes up. If it comes up that we might be able to put some safeguard in that you're only taking cash up till a certain point in time. Like
Okay.
Kentucky Fried Chicken won't sell me any chicken at 10 after 9 because they close at 11. So they're not making anymore. You could say you have nothing after 8 o'clock in cash. I just don't, I agree with the judge that I just don't think that you could, my feeling is you could post 24/7 and you really gotta look at the circumstances, but we could dissuade people by a big sign that says no cash, and people will find a way. And somebody comes breaking that rule or something, we'll have something in place. I don't want that on her report. I don't think it needs to be there because that's not the system we had in place before. That's when they would carry over a bag of money and give it to the clerk and with no receipt and who knows where it went. Okay, so,
Excuse me, I'm gonna step out if that's all right, then. I'm
Yeah.
no longer
oh yeah,
here, so-
thanks a lot, Rob.
Thanks.
anything else under correspondence? Anything under solicitor report? Any old business? Any more new business? Anything else I need? And we, with no further business, nothing for the good of the inspectors of the Carbon County Jail, then we